When you can drive anything you want, drive exactly what you want. Ah, would but that I could cruise around Beijing in a sparkling white Mitsuoka Hamiko. But that's not going to happen anytime soon. Not in the least, because even if I could afford a sparkling white Mitsuoka Himiko, I wouldn't be driving it in Beijing Metro. Now, I've seen more aggressive, indeed worse driving in other cities around the world and in China. And for the most part, it seemed to me that Beijing drivers operate their terraplanes with reassuring civility. But the clogged arteries in the heart of the capital and the general unpleasantness of motoring and parking here would definitely keep me out of the driver's seat, even though I do have a valid China-issued driver's license. So, lesson 1 about Beijing taxis. Even if you do get lucky and find a driver that knows exactly where you want to go, you're capable of communicating that effectively with him, you're not going to get there very fast. Even if it's after rush hour, it's still going to take a little bit longer to get there than you might have thought. Keep that in mind.
对不起呀，如意情愿个，这家人银牙一咬，金莲一跺。
For me, that meant lots of time in taxis. Now here's something important. The fact that taxis are easily enough hailed by the English-speaking, charming, white-gloved doorman at the orifice of your luxury hotel makes the livery fleet of the capital seem both efficient and abundant. It is in fact neither. Whatever charm schooling the drivers received in the run-up to the nationalistic love fest, otherwise known as the 2008 Olympic Games, has clearly failed to stick. Do not expect your driver to speak any language other than Beijingese. Okay, fair enough, you're in China. Why should a cabbie speak anything but his mother tongue? Sorry, Beijing, Shanghai cabbies are 好多了，不好意思哦。 Buses? Forget it. Bicycles? Well, in fact, most two-wheelers are these days powered by petrol rather than protein. But if you do insist on getting onto the saddle of a bicycle, if only to say that you did, rentals are available at different locations across the city. Your concierge can connect you to an agent near your hotel. The three-wheeled pedicabs, 三轮车, can be a fun option, at least when the ride is more important than arriving. Just be sure to negotiate fares and rates in advance, but pay upon arrival only. But of course, for millions of real Beijingers, all the movement is underground. And by underground, I mean the metro. Now, if you want to get from A to B and not have to deal with a taxi cab driver that doesn't know where you want to go, or a bus where you might be squeezed in like a sardine, this is probably the most efficient way. And it's the way that modern Beijing moves. If you're used to taking subways already, then using the Beijing Metro should be a breeze. Ticket machines have prompts in both Chinese and English, and it is fairly simple and intuitive. Choose your line or lines, select your destination, insert your money, grab your tickets. 好了. 1, 2, 3. And go. The pass you are issued is swiped at the turnstile to enter the subway and fed into it when exiting. The metro is a great, inexpensive way to get from A to B, and metro travelers in the capital seem much more civil than those in Shanghai, even if the latter are more interesting to look at. If you've got lots of big bags or cases, or have small children in tow, you're probably better off with a taxi. But the metro is a sensational way to get a sense of the size and the diversity of Beijing. And I, for one, would rather ride the rails for hours and cruise this town's precincts than suffer hordes of tourists at the Great Wall. Come on, people. You've seen it before a million times. It's not really that different when you get there. It's just a wall. If you're planning on visiting Beijing this summer, here are some sites to help you get around the town.
The official government website for the Beijing Metro is www.ebeijing.gov.cn. We found it pretty user-friendly and reliable. We also enjoyed the intel provided by thebeijingguide.com, and if you're traveling to Beijing as a first-time tourist, we strongly recommend browsing their site. While you're there, check out their section, Getting Around by Taxi. Keep their counsel in mind, and your visit to the capital will be even more enjoyable. And finally, on the subject of Beijing taxis, we couldn't resist this one, the March 31st issue of The Economist. Here it is, www.economist.com, and follow the URL.
Yep, so maybe here's something that we need to remember. It seems that it doesn't like 1 renminbi notes. Phil, do you have a coin on you?
No.
No. Sir, 不好意思，打扰你，你1块钱硬币有没有？
没有。
没有啊？
没有。
那怎么办呢？ Well, if this actually happens to you, then you're fucked. So I would say just go out and get a, taxi, because you're not going to be able to make it work. Damn it. Cut. Sorry. Every boy typically has his dream car, and I was kind of a weird kid, as you can imagine, so I never really had a dream car. I only discovered my dream car about a month ago, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is it.